Hi, I'm Michelle, the Intentional Violinist, and this channel is all about sharing what I've learned through experience and research as an adult learner of the violin. So, what exactly is an intentional violinist? Well, I define that as anybody who has intentionally chosen to take up the violin. And that's because most people who play the violin started at the age of 4, 5, or 6. And it wasn't necessarily their choice, right? Their parents had a lot to do with that. And, maybe they did want to practice, maybe they didn't, but their parents kept pushing them to do that. And so an intentional violinist is generally an adult, somebody who's decided that they really want to play. They've decided that with intention. And what I've found as an adult learner, an intentional violinist, is that there is a bias in the music community that adult learners cannot reach an advanced level of playing on the violin. But that's really not true. I've met people who have started playing as adults and they have reached an advanced level. And I myself have seen a lot of progress that makes me think it's possible for me too. Some of the things that I've noticed in my learning is that because most teachers started playing violin at that young age of 5 or 6, they don't really know what it's like to be an adult learner. And not that that's a bad thing, but it's just a different experience. When you're a child, you are not capable of complex thoughts. You are just practicing the violin and maybe stumble upon, doing something well and advancing your technique or get pretty good at mimicking your teacher. But you don't really understand what you're doing or why it works, what the physics of the violin are. But that's what's really interesting about being an intentional violinist. Learning as an adult is that we can understand, we can learn about the physics of the violin and learn these complex things that help us advance quicker because we're able to understand how to do these things on the violin. The deficit really comes from the fact that it's kind of hard to learn that stuff because your teacher might not even know because they learned as a kid and they didn't pick up the knowledge of why certain things work on the violin. And, the other part of the puzzle is that we only have 1 hour lessons, maybe. Maybe we only have a half an hour lesson every week. And so there's just really not enough time to talk and discuss the finer details of violin outside of practicing that song or that scale. So in my own learning, I've spent a lot of time researching so many different aspects of the violin, trying to understand it and understand how it works and make sure that I'm not practicing the wrong things because I just don't know better. That way I can build good muscle memory. And the maybe sad truth is that I have spent hundreds of hours learning about the violin over the last couple of years. So I really wanted to share my perspectives and my knowledge, what I've learned, and just try to assist other intentional violinists with their journey of learning the violin as an adult. That's what this channel is about, and we are starting from the very basics in the beginning, so that way we can include everybody, but we will continue to advance on the topics and get more in the weeds of the violin and its physics as the videos continue. Thanks for watching, and I hope you will join our community of intentional violinists. Until next time, keep practicing.